to everyone. So I guess you guys know who I already am, but I'll introduce myself again. I am Ming from 1984, and this is the first time I join this show. I think this is a new opportunity for me to change myself and to get new things to try this year. So without further ado, let's get into my topic. That is Discord. Discord, I guess some of you already know what it is, but I'll introduce this one as okay for you guys. So at first, I wondered why did I just use an app or a browser to express a topic for a teenaging problems? Well, I think it's unique and well, a lot of teenagers use it, so I guess it's kind of a good problem to talk about. So now let's talk about what is Discord. Discord, basically, it's an online platform used for communicating. You can chat and you can use text message to voice command on Discord to communicate with your friends and the people you know. Besides that, Discord offers you multiple customization options and other features, such as server-generated, user-generated servers, and other things you can use to express yourself better. On Discord, you can almost be anything you want. You can express yourself to be a gender you want, a new name for yourself, and maybe a better profile for you. You can talk the way you want, and you can be the person you want on Discord. A very, very good way to express yourself that I really enjoy because I use Discord a lot. And so, some of these features leads to the success of Discord. And by that, Discord has been called something that changed the internet. For many decades until now, Discord turns the internet into a new thing. People communicate on Discord and they are associated with many things and new culture from other countries. They all talk together on one platform and they find things they like very easy. People with the same interest and servers, communities that you can join, to even companies use Discord to communicate with their employees. There's a quote from a news I read that how Discord somewhat accidentally invented the future of the internet. They explained that Discord, with the unique features and other things they offered for the user, and created a new world for the users to live on, and that is the platform to communicate. And so, let's talk a little bit about my own experience with Discord. So, I started to use Discord I started to know about Discord since 2019. And I started to use it around late 2021. At first, I think it's just a normal app and a normal texting app like anything else. But until I discover features, I find it very cool. There are some features such as there is a type of badge for you to earn by doing some achievements. And some of these badges will express yourself better, like the Hack Squad badge. Other things like there are some fun facts about Discord, being that they was once called bonfire. And bonfire is by the meaning to create a place cozy for people to chat with. There are still a lot of facts about Discord that you can find it yourself by using the app. I guess all of you here, some people actually do use Discord too. So if you can, please raise a hand. Thank you very much. That is a lot. And by the people I'm talking about, we know here that you guys are teenagers. I am a teenager. And teenagers are the majority of the users on Discord. So we're going to talk through some problems by this thing. As we just know, the majority of teenagers on Discord are aged around 11 and 15 to 17 and above. And because of this, there are some bad type of people that I can consider to be some things you don't want to mess with or avoid. These people you can call pedophiles and incels or other things like child abusers. And these people, they exploit the vulnerability of teenagers on Discord. By that, they will seek teenagers who are unaware and they will use their methods to attack them, gain their own benefits from these unaware teenagers. And there are three problems that I find that is the most common and can be found on Discord. Even I experienced myself. And these are scam links, online harassment, and DDoS attacks. So let's talk about the first one, being scam links. Scam links is a link generated by a scammer to create a shortcut coming from this place to a website. And this website usually asks you to enter your private information. And by that, once you enter the private information, it will be taken away for some sort of meaning, and they can use it to use against you. The scammer, once having your information, can get into your account, infiltrate it, and take away your money. They can leak your address, your private information, gender, age, and many more things. They will leak it to a place that they think they can get money by leaking it. And so, a lot of people has been suffering by compromised account. Some people that doesn't are not aware of these scam links will soon get their account stolen. And I experienced it myself. When I was pretty young, even though I haven't used this for this moment, little me still clicks on these links to get something I so-called free Robux. It's a little joke. So yeah, because of this sort of currency in the game, I click on these links and hopefully I can get something fun. But instead, I was scammed. And well, at least not at the worst level yet. But yeah, I did click on links sometimes. And soon later on, I installed these things like McAfee to find out and scan that if these links are safe or not. And I'm sure maybe some of you at least clicked on this insecure link for once. And so we'll move on to Discord. Soon I understand scam link is a bad thing, and I have my own experience with it, so I avoid some of these scam links I've been sent on Discord. There was a problem. One day was chatting on Discord, and suddenly by DM pops up a pin. Somebody sent me a link to a server invite. But the thing is, this is a total stranger, and this server is something that you shouldn't go in, because most of us underage understand that this is not a place for us. Because why? The server involves pornography, and somehow this guy or this girl, I don't know, the gender is not revealed, come into my DMs and tell me to enter the server. I rejected the offer, and soon later I blocked the user because I understand these are not secure things, and also the topic about that server I do not want to go in. Secondly, online harassment, or you can call it cyberbullying. And on Discord, this thing does occur. When you talk about something and somebody else doesn't like it, they can, well, ignore it, but some others can mock you for it. People can tease other people on social media much easier because the way they can hide their real identity. They do not have to be afraid by facing the real people, each other, face to face, so they can just send in bad things for you. Words can be very offensive and sometimes hurt people's feelings. And I have saw some of these words myself. Something you can call the N-word, the F-word, the A-word, and a lot of words that comes from the alphabet. And people use it to call other people. And these offensive words sometimes hurt a lot of people once you hear it, even if it's just a text message. I sometimes, even though the Discord does provide a filter on servers, but some servers don't have a filter and people can say those things. And well, when there was a time I needed a community server, and yeah, a lot of bad words were said there, and I decided to leave to avoid the toxicity. Finally, something more complex, and being DDoS attacks. So, DDoS attacks is a way that somebody who is able to create a bot, or I'll call this person the bot master. The bot master will create a lot of other bots. These bots are considered puppets or slaves. And by using these puppets, they will randomly get invites and find invites from many servers. They will enter the servers and they will overload the servers by spamming and flooding the chat message. By this, one bot might be kind of hard to deal with, but many bots can actually cause the server to crash and all of your progress on Discord will be lost. And by that, the bot master is usually hired by other raiders, and raiders will use these spam bots to attack servers. So, About my own experience with DDoS attacks, kind of rare because I haven't really actually been in this much, but I do encounter bots in other community servers that I was in. And yeah, those bots spams in a lot of words, emojis, flooding the chats with a lot of nonsense text message, and the moderators quickly have to remove it before it floods the entire chat. Now, let's talk about some of the solutions, I think, that can actually help you. These are some solutions I find for myself, and I think it's going to be really helpful for you to deal with these situations once you encounter them. First, it's very simple: block or report. By blocking a user, you will not be able to see the user's message, and the user will not be able to send you any more message. And by this, you can avoid being harassed or avoid getting more scam links. So you can block a user to sort of make a wall to separate you from their toxicity. On the other option being report. Report can also be considered a very good option, but you will kind of have to have enough evidence. By evidence, you have to have the proof and maybe even screenshots of the user doing something bad for you. And once you have enough proof, you can report to the Discord's moderator, and soon they will sort of solve the user. Next, we're going to be talking about beware of what you post. Because on Discord and other social media, posting something, you will still need to be cautious of. Sometimes you can post an image of a house, you can post the image of your house, yourself, but you have to be aware that some people will find this image and use it for get their own benefits. For example, some people who they are professionals or some sort, they're good at using their skills to find people's location. They can just see a picture of a kitchen and find out where your house is. And once they find your house, things can get a little bit troublesome for you and your family, as they can come in, raid the house when you're gone, kidnap in some case, and even burn it down, except for buildings. They don't want to mess up the entire building. And so, always be aware of what you post, because sometimes, besides the image, you can just say something that people don't like and people will harass you instantly. So always be aware of what you're posting on Discord. Next is do not click on unsecured links. Like I say, it'll be used to click on links. So now, Big Me doesn't want to click on links, because links are sometimes very bad, and you have to understand which link is safe and which is not. So always remember that if you have at least a scanning device on your website, you can find out what links is unsecured. So be aware of what you're clicking on. Sometimes it leads you to places you don't want to be. And there's other solutions that I can see being telling others about it, the problem. Maybe, for example, you understand the problem and you avoid the problem, but your friends does not, and they will get the problem. Once by that, sometimes the hacker can take your friend's account and use it against you. That would gonna be a lot of problems for you and your own friends. So always remember that once in a community or a server, at least set up a rule or announce something to tell other people to be aware of these problems. Even sometimes school and other places of education does teach you how to be safe on the internet. And so I'm just reviewing it once again as on Discord. Finally, wait, this is not the final one. Oh, right, the final one. Okay, sorry about that. And that is about letting your parents know. Your parents are the people that you trust the most, and they will willingly to help you in any situation you have. So always tell the adults. They will help you, and they will find a way to keep you away from these dangers. Don't hide your problems away, because sometimes keeping it to yourself is very stressful, and I did have some times like that. So once I have my parents' help, I really feel like a lot better. Now let's go into the conclusion. So this talk is almost to the end, but I'll share you some more story about Discord and me. So at the time I started to know about Discord in late 2021. And I think that, well, there is some time that you're just too interested on chatting. And you just spend a lot of your time on your computer. I was like that because I was limited to be inside my house. That time, it was quarantine, and the COVID pandemic is still something of trouble to everyone outside. You have to stay inside your house and stay away from almost any of your family members. And because of that, I always use Discord for a lot of times, chatting with friends day and night, and sometimes I use it too much that I just skip some of my own sleep. Sometimes that this sometimes become usually, and soon almost become an always. And this always is very bad because there's the times I wake up at 4 a.m. just to see the message and see if someone picked me. Oh, somebody just talked about me in my DMs. Somebody just tell me something cool. I wanted to talk to them more, so I stay up and chat on my keyboard until my hands are very tired and my eyes cannot open. I sleep with the computer. It's kind of weird, okay? So, to avoid this, soon and later on, this habit was interrupted by a person, my father. One day, 4 a.m., I'm still on my computer chatting, and my father had to wake up very early to go to work. He saw me on this situation, and he was worried. That day, at night, he called me to meet up in the bedroom, and he told me about the things. Son, you're using Discord a bit too much. I understand you have friends on the internet, and I respect that. These are still real friends. I do not consider them our friends or anything. They are still the people you want to talk about. And since quarantine really restricted you down to this, I'm okay for you to use Discord. But you are spending a bit too much time with your friends on Discord rather than your own family. And you're spending too little time to improve your own health, and you're not doing it well. With this pace of life, this is gonna be very bad for you. My father told that, and I think again and again and again. I go to sleep and I think about my actions. I understand what he said, each and every of his words, and finally I was awakened. I understand what Discord really is. It's not a world for me to live in. The real life is outside, and I should probably get away from the screen for quite a while. So I get off my chair and started to try and do things around my house. Clean the house, and soon when quarantine is down, I go to school and try to socialize with people. Change myself and be something new. He said, life still have a lot of things for you to offer, and you should take your chance when you have it. Don't leave it until another day and just sit on the computer texting with friends. You can text with them anytime, but your parents, they don't have that much time with you left. So always be understanding that who is with you right now and spend time with them. You, your parents, your brother, especially yourself, the body you're owning. He said that to me, and I never forget it. That's the experience with me on Discord. And until now, I still use it. But yeah, it's a lesson that you should learn, that you shouldn't just hide yourself in this virtual world. There's still real life, and real life has a lot of things for you. And so I guess my speech is gonna be ending here. Well, thank you for all of you for listening. And also, a special thanks for my parents to arrive here. A very big moral support. Thank you a lot.